They both want to go back. I don't understand, bro. Why do they think things are going to be differently? Because it's not Triple H, bro. It's the system.
So here's the thing. When Aleister Black was in the WWE, we're going to talk about Aleister Black. When Aleister Black was in the WWE, I think he had so much potential to make a really, really, really big impression in the WWE. And they started booking him really odd. Like he first came out and he did the rise up, you know what I mean? The kind of the lever.
Yes,
and he was just, he was very enigmatic. There was an enigma to him that was very mysterious. It was like, man, I'm trying to put the pieces together and it makes me want more. And then they started putting him in tag matches like Ricochet. And it was really off what they did with him. Why in the world, in your opinion, and they did the same with Bray too. A lot of people,
bro. Yeah, a lot of people.
Like, what do you think happened wrong when it came to Aleister Black in the WWE?
I remember specifically, bro. Here's the pattern. When somebody is more talented than the people they have writing for them, that person's doomed. Because they can't write up to that person's level. So what do? They drag the person down. That's the trap Malakai Black fell into. Bray Wyatt fell. Bro, Loomis is falling into that trap right now. You're seeing it. He's up here. Creative is here. Yeah. We can't get there, so we're going to do this. I remember specifically with Malakai Black, bro. I remember a couple of things specifically with this dude. First of all, he cut the promo where he was going to be knocking on people's doors. He never knocked on a single door.
Or he was waiting for people to knock on the door.
Never once did that ever happen. Never once did that ever happen. And bro, I remember, Chris, I can remember this vividly. And I'm gonna give the WWE the benefit of the doubt. In the last 5 years, I swear to God, bro, one match and one match only stands out in my mind. And it was Malakai Black and Buddy Murphy because they beat the snot. There was no this and no, bro. And I was watching this bro, and where did both guys wind up? Both guys wind up at AEW. But here's what ills me. They both want to go back. I don't understand, bro. Why do they think things are going to be differently? Because it's not Triple H, bro. It's the system. It's the system, bro. And you're going to be put in that same system again. I mean, Chris, bro, has anything changed for Braun Strowman since he's been back?
No.
He went right back into the same system, bro. Yeah. These guys are a level above the system they're going into.
Yeah. You know, with Black, I can definitely see him kind of having a lose. I mean, you know, his wife is a WWE, Zelina Vega. So if anything, he would want to go back there. Now he's saying that despite the rumors, he is staying with AEW and he doesn't want to be a pawn in the AEW versus WWE battle. Do you think that was a PR move? You know, having Khan basically telling him like, no, don't you make any.
Khan you're still on the contract. Came out. There was just an article 2 days ago which I could not believe. Chris, you are a world-renowned psychologist. You've got the doctor.
I'm not that good, but thank you.
Yeah, you are. You are. You got Team Dr. Chris. Let me ask you a question, Chris. You've got a couple of members on that team that are disgruntled and no longer want to be on the team. What does Dr. Chris do?
You're fired.
Bro, Tony Khan came out the other day and said nobody is going to be given a release. He can't. Bro, if you have people on your team that are disgruntled and don't want to play on your team, This is what I mean about this guy, bro, because if they're not happy and you're not going to let them go, that locker room now becomes toxic. So he came out and made that statement. Nobody's getting their release. I'm not letting anybody go. And Malakai Black was probably one of those people.
Yeah, he's been saying that for a while, as far as like he doesn't like releasing people. He'll just let people, he'll just let contracts expire. And I'm like, man, I mean, like, are you hemorrhaging? Are you okay with hemorrhaging so much money that you just let like people like I think Joey Janela, one of the people from I forgot his one of the people from the Dark Order, Alan Angels, he was another one. Like, there's a lot of people that were just sitting around, and even Alan Angels had a he had a decent spot in AEW. But there's a lot of people who are just on the kind of like the low part of the barrel, and they just didn't have an impression. And he knew that their contract was going to expire, and he weren't going to renew them. Let them go.
No, bro. And bro, like, that is poison in the locker room. When you've got an unhappy player, bro, that is the worst, man.
Yeah, that is bad. And I would even say from a business point though, Vince, like you have all these people on your roster and you know that you're not doing it. I know it sounds callous, and it can come callous when we talk about, cutting talent and things like that. But business is business, man. Yeah. I mean, like, if you're not adding to the business, you're taking away from it, even if you're there. And at the end of the day, why am I paying you to continue to lose me money? Like, I mean, that doesn't make sense from a business standpoint. And I think at the end of the day, and if I do want you to get your money's worth, I need to delegate tasks or assign tasks where I feel like that you're comfortable in, and give you the opportunity to really work your magic. Maybe there's an apartment that you like. I'm gonna put you there so you can work your magic. I think for Aleister Black or Malakai Black, I think Tony Khan needs to be more focused on letting him do a lot of creative stuff, because his mind is filled with imagination.
Yeah, bro, this guy comes across in everything I read with his comments.
You're speaking of Khan?
No, I'm speaking of Black. I'm speaking of Black. He doesn't come across like so many of these other wrestlers. He doesn't come across where wrestling is the be-all, end-all. He really doesn't, because a lot of times you hear him say there are things he needs to straighten out in his life. Yeah, there are some issues with this and that. This guy never comes across like wrestling is the be-all, end-all, and I will absolutely sacrifice everything in my... He doesn't come across as that kind of dude, bro.
I think the biggest thing with that, Vince, is that there's wrestlers and there's artists.
Yeah.
I think Black is an artist.
I agree.
And wrestling's the platform for him to,
that's a great point,
or exhibit his artistry.
That's
what I mean? Like, there's a lot of people who are just wrestlers for wrestlers' sake.
Yes.
I grew up, doing trampoline wrestling when I was 6 years old. Yep. I jumped off my deck when I was 8, on my mom's deck. Like, those are the 30s and 20 somethings, 30 somethings that look at AEW and it's like, oh man, I've been wanting to do this since I was 3.
Right. You're dead on, man. Yep.
And then you have someone like a Black,
yep,
who's an artist.
Yep.
And he's using wrestling as an opportunity to create the canvas, as a canvas, basically, to create the
magic. I think Loomis, is one of those guys too.
Yes, Dexter Loomis.
Great point, bro. Great point. Great point.
Yeah, and you can see it though, because those people will just jump into acting, right? Because that's just another canvas to, as an artist, that just shows their artistry. They'll jump into different things. They'll jump into television or movies or something like that. And that goes to show that someone like a Black is like, okay, yeah. I mean, like, if wrestling's not on the table for me, I'll just take my artistry elsewhere.
Yep.
As opposed to someone who's in AEW, they're like, oh man, I can't wrestle anymore. Man, I can't do these flips anymore. Like, I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
Well, be an artist. Show your artist. Bray is the same way. I mean, Bray could be an amazing movie star if he wanted to. And, you know, he wasn't like taking any type of deal to get back into the wrestling bubble. You know, he's been gone for over a year from the WWE, and you haven't seen him in any indie show, Impact. You've seen him nowhere. He knows, and he's confident. He's confident in his artistry, and that gives him the opportunity to say, "Oh, I know my worth. I'm just going to sit back and wait." And then now I have more leverage. Because I didn't dilute my brand.
Right. You know? Exactly. Yep.